Our topic today on civic education is factors that can lead to the success of responsible parenthood. Okay, welcome to class. Okay, before we talk about factors that lead to responsible parenthood, we will still go back to our topic last week, which states responsible parenthood. And we ask again, what is responsible parenthood? And we discussed last time, if you can remember, we said that responsible parenthood is when both parents take full responsibility of their children. When they take full responsibility of their children by providing everything that the child needs. That every child needs all the attention he or she needs at any point in time, as long as that person is a child. And we talked about that before you plan on becoming a parent, you should know that you are already responsible, you are already old enough, you've already planned for it. Remember I told you in the last class that there's nothing like unplanned pregnancy. Every pregnancy is a pre-planned thing. Every child, but nothing like this one is a unwanted child or this one is a wanted child. Every child is wanted because it took a lot of 9 months to plan for the birth of the child. And for that child to come out, it's not unplanned or it's not unwanted. Everything was pre-planned. So it's not left for a parent to take up the responsibility to say, this is my child, this is what I'm going to do. I will make sure that I should be able to provide all the basic things my child needs to become who he or she wants to become. Okay? We also talked about how, as a mother, because the responsible parents will start from when the mother is pregnant, how she starts attending antenatal classes, and how she and the father works hand in hand to know the kind of friends the child keeps, to know the kind of people the child follows, to know the kind of education they give the child. Because the type of education he gives to the child also matters in the child's growing. To know the kind of food. Because if you allow a child to feed on anything, the child might end up becoming what? Malnourished or might have a deficiency disease, especially kwashiorkor. That is both responsible parenthood. Being there for the child. In fact, there's a case I was discussing with someone. I said, I will make sure that every child, parents should make sure that they are there for their child in times of need. Anytime the child needs their attention. I was watching a video skit of one little girl. She was supposed to present something in school for her graduation party. And then she looked around, she didn't see her parents. If you see her face, you can obviously tell that that child is downcasted at that point. That child was feeling so bad. Why? Because she didn't see her parents at that point. She was presenting, but that zeal to present was not there. Why? Because she didn't sight the parents. But immediately she sighted the parents far from the back. When she sighted her parents, she stood up. In fact, you can see that the fact that it was written all over her that she was extremely happy because she saw the parents. Imagine the kind of emotional trauma that child would have passed through if that parents were not responsible enough to say, no, I must be there for my child. So that is what responsible parenting is all about. They should be able to be there for their children at any point in time, at any time of the day, being there and standing for their child. We also discussed the duties of fathers and mothers in the family. We say that the fathers are the one that provide the financial need of the family. Yes, it is the duty of the father to make sure that the finances needed for the family is being provided. He makes sure that the nutritional need of the family is being provided. He makes sure that there is security. In fact, anytime you talk about father, it depicts security. Because once your father is there, you are sure that you are covered. You can even sleep without being scared. Why? Because you know your father is there for you. And so many other things that we discussed the last time. Remember, we're having a recap. Okay, we also discussed the duties of a mother. We said the mother makes sure that the food we cook in the house are properly prepared. That the mother makes sure that the children are neat and the surroundings are always clean. And I also gave you an instance that wherever a child is coming out from, it shows the type of family. Whenever you see a child totally depicts the type of family he or she is coming from. Because if there is a mother in the home, the mother will make sure that everything about the child is properly looked at before the child goes out or goes to anywhere. We also discussed that the mother makes sure that the health, yes, because the mothers are always the one that stay close to the children. So they make sure that the children are healthy. How? how will they be healthy? By giving them healthy food. So I believe you still go back to the other class and check out more on the things we discussed on responsible parenthood. Okay, now let's look at our main topic for today, which says factors that can lead to the success of responsible parenthood. And one of the factors that leads to the success of a responsible parenthood is what? Effective education. Effective education. You say that good education is the factor that leads to successful responsible parenthood. Yes. When both parents are properly educated, when both parents know that, pass through the processes of going to school, pass through the process of knowing what childbirth is all about. You know, in our society today, people just think that giving birth, having a family is just about giving birth. No. Before you think about becoming a parent, you should be properly educated on childbirth. Parents should have an effective education on childbirth, on child plan, on the things one should do as parents, on the things one should not do as parents. Are we together? Things one should do as parents and things one should not do as parents. Know the do's and don'ts of children. Know that the generation of children we have now are no longer the generation of children we used to have. In fact, some parents used to compare the children of these days to when they were born, without knowing that the world is evolving, the way things are growing. Because if you look at the way things are now, it's not the way we went to school that period, like the children of these days are going to school. It's not the way we were treated. Then, when we were going to school, if you then come late to school, you'll be severely punished. In fact, you'll not only be punished, you'll be battered. But now, even if a child is late to school, you don't impute a corporal punishment on the child. Anything that will inflict pain on the child, you look for a way and sort things out with the child, not inflicting injury. But during our days then, we were inflicted with so many injuries. So if you can be able to be effective in learning the evolving of children, of generation, you will be able to know that this is when this child is supposed to do this, and this is when this child is not supposed to do this. Proper education, proper learning, proper understanding of what children are will help us to know, will help lead to the success of what? Responsible parenthood. Another one is good value system. We said the exhibition of positive values in the society will promote responsible parenthood. If the society can be able to exhibit positive value, you know what value is. We said that value is the worth placed on something. Worth placed on something, that particular thing you see as important, those value systems, those good things that the society can be able to exhibit, those good things in the society is filled. Imagine if our country, Nigeria, was supposed to be a country that is free from corruption, assuming that our country, Nigeria, is a country free from corruption. Do you think that we will not raise responsible citizens? No. In fact, I was reading about Switzerland. I heard that Switzerland has something to do with time. Someone told me about that. That Switzerland has something to do with time. Like a Swiss person tells you that I will be here by 4 o'clock. Exactly 4 o'clock, the person will be there. Why? They've already imbibed that good value system. There is nothing like an African time. That is a positive value system. If the society can be able to promote, exhibit, it starts from the family. It starts from the family. The father and the mother, that is still their parenthood. The father and the mother starts exhibiting the good things, because obviously a cow cannot give birth to a dog. You can only give birth to your kind. It's only what you have that you can be able to give. You can't give what you don't have. So, if you can be able to give out a positive value as a parent, if you can be able to state that, oh, I'm supposed to do this, I'm not supposed to do this. Imagine in a family whereby the mother and father are always fighting. What do you think will happen? The children will grow up knowing that fighting is nothing. Imagine a family where the father and mother are always nagging at each other. The children will end up becoming what? Nags. They will become irresponsible. And then tomorrow you say, this child is this child is, but it started from the home. You will see a child always fighting, always bullying each other in school. You'll not be asking, where is it coming from? You will not know that it is coming from the home. That is what good value system. If a responsible parent can be able to imbibe good value system in the life of children, then automatically they will start doing better. They will start doing things that will help them become responsible in the future. Another one that can lead to success of responsible parenthood is what? Employment opportunity. Engagement in economic activities will enable parents to provide for the needs, basic needs of the children. If the parents have all the financial needs, if they have employment opportunity, imagine if the father is working in a bank and the mother is a lawyer practicing, a barrister practicing. You can imagine the kind of children they will give birth to. They will give them the quality of things, though not all parents anyway. But if the both parents are gainfully employed, if the both parents have everything they need to train the children, automatically they will turn out to become responsible. But funny enough, there are some parents that will still have all these things and will still neglect their children. They will still not be there to look out for their children. So employment opportunity, when parents are properly engaged, when parents are properly employed, when there is an adequate source of income, where income is coming from A, B, everybody is bringing. It's not a one-person thing. Do you understand? The power will be at the center. The mother brings, the father brings, everybody comes together and support each other. Then things will be moving as it ought to be in the family. Another thing that leads to the success of the responsible parenthood is the family size. The size of the family tells a lot about the family. Imagine a family that consists of father, mother, and their 3 children. What do you think will happen? If the parents can be able to provide everything at those families, the smaller, the more provision will be given. But if it's a family whereby you have only the father and the mother, and then they have like 8 children, and maybe automatically all of them will be staying in one room. In fact, I've seen a scenario whereby I visited a family of 9, the father and the mother and their 7 children. I was shocked at the marriage. And the funny thing is that they are living in a one-room apartment. How can 9 people be living in a one-room apartment? And the mother is still an expectant mom. That means she's pregnant, waiting for the next child to come. That is the height of irresponsibility. Family size helps in what? Making you a responsible parent. Because you know that this is what I'm supposed to do and this is what I'm not supposed to do. We said that the size of the family is determined by the number of people living together as a family. It's determined by the number of people. When the family is small, look at it here. It said, small size family will promote responsible parenthood than a larger family. When the family is small, you know that you can be able to reach out to this. You know you can be able to pay for this person's school fees. How can you give birth to children that you cannot be able to train in school? You just give birth to them and leave them. In fact, some of our some northern part of our country, not all, but some, you will see children that are supposed to be suckling their mother's breast. They will be there begging for alms. Children are supposed to be under the care of someone, begging for alms. Do you think that if the parents were responsible enough to maintain this small family size, will they have that? No. They can be able to know that, oh, I give birth to this child, I should be able to what? Maintain this quality of children. Not giving birth to as large as any type of child, and then at the end of the day, you end up not doing anything at all. Are we together? Okay, the next one is enlightenment campaign. If there is a campaign to tell people, look at what you should do, look at what you should not do, look at how to plan it. Because in fact, sometimes it's easier now because if you check, and there's something they call family planning. Some people don't even know anything about this. The responsible parenting, we should also consider that. If people are being enlightened on family planning to know that this is the right thing to do, this is not the right thing to do, You can actually give birth to this particular number of children if you want. You cannot give birth if you don't want. People should say this will go a long way to influence parents in response to the needs of their children. Parents should be able to be enlightened. This is not as it was in the beginning. It is no longer your time. This is the time of the children of this generation. It's a different generation. It's a different people. They are different people. You cannot use your knowledge as old as you are to compare to the children of the generation. They are different from you. In fact, the children of the generation are 10 times smarter. They are 10 times smarter than you feel you are now. The only difference is that you are more knowledgeable than them. If not for that, they are smarter because they are the jet generation. So if parents can be enlightened to know this, you can be able to understand your child. You can be able to understand when your child starts misbehaving. You can be able to understand your child's emotion and take responsibility immediately. Know what the child needs at that point. Be able to know that this is the time for me to act this way, and this is the time for me not to act this way. Are we together? The next one is good governance. If there is good governance, then it will lead to the success of responsible parenthood. Because the government will be there. The government will swiftly respond to people that are in need of help. Not the kind of government that you will call upon and everything will be left on individuals. How will the government come to the response of parents? One is to building a good hospital, a good healthcare system, providing good public schools for people that cannot be able to afford private schools, because obviously not all parents can be able to afford good private schools. So the government should be able to provide good response team to help the parents in the little things they need in training their children. And government should also help in scrutinizing the society, sanitizing the society, educating the society, being there for the citizens whenever they are in need of what? Him. Are we together? Okay, the next one is respect for law and order. People tend to be more responsible in the society where there is threats, where there is respect for law and order. When law and order are being respected in the society, what happens? When law and order are being respected, everybody respects the law. Even the children will grow up seeing it. Have you asked yourself, how does children learn how to speak? Any language their mother speaks. Because they look up to their parents or their mother. So if the society respects law and order, these children will grow up respecting. When parents don't jump queues, you go to the bank, instead of you to stand on the normal queue because you know someone, you jump the queue. You jump the queue and leave, and then people are on the line. Tomorrow your child will grow up and learn how to jump queues, jumping protocols, saying, I know this person, because I know this person, I should be able to get whatever I want. So, any society that respects law and order, it will lead to the success of what? Responsible parenthood. So, you've seen that you have effective education, you have good value system, you have employment opportunity, you have family size, you have enlightenment campaign, you have good governance and respect for law and order. Okay, let's now look at the constraints of good parenthood. Those hindrances, those things that stop good parenting, those things that makes parents, they'll say, I wish I have this, I wish I can do this. Maybe my child will be better, maybe my child will not be better. The first thing to look at is what? Poverty. Poverty helps, in fact, poverty is a very bad constraint. Because it limits people. Those things that you know you can even do, you cannot be able to do it. We have illiteracy. Some people are not properly educated. Some people don't even know what and when to do things. If people are properly enlightened, then they will know the right thing to do. Customs and traditions. Some customs and traditions restrain parents from being able to train their children the way they wish to. Because in some traditions, female education is prohibited. So imagine such tradition, it will constrain parents to know that I cannot be able to do this for my child, even though I want to. bad governance. When the government is not doing the right thing for the people, it will also lead to what? Constraint, unemployment. When people are not gainfully employed, they will now say, what am I going to do? It's not as if they don't know what to do, but because they don't have it at that point, they cannot be able to do it. Environmental factor, the kind of environment a child grows up on, the kind of environment that the parents train a child also determines what will happen in, will also constitute a constraint for good parenting. Okay, I believe we've learned a lot from our lesson today, and please, I will look out for you in our next class. Do take care of yourself and answer the evaluation question. You mentioned 5 factors that can promote good parenthood and what makes responsible parenthood difficult in our society today. Thank you for listening and have a beautiful day. Bye.